was met with heightened security and a public holiday declaration, underscoring the importance of the occasion for Kenya's political landscape.
So help me God.
As he took the oath of office, it marked a special political term in the history of Kenya, having 2 deputy presidents in 5 years. President William Ruto had nominated Kindiki, the former Interior Cabinet Secretary, as deputy president, following Gachagwa's removal after a parliamentary vote and subsequent impeachment hearings.
To commit to support and assist you, together with the other colleagues in government, to realize a Kenya that has even greater opportunities, a more inclusive Kenya, a more democratic Kenya, and a more transformed Kenya. Your Excellency, I'm grateful because of the opportunity that Kenya provides for anyone to aspire to be anything.
This moment calls for an individual who takes pride in a job well done and is humble enough to be a loyal servant of the people, and who is selfless enough to reach out and mobilize the entirety of government towards delivering for Kenya. Experienced enough to understand the importance of engaging all sectors of our economy to drive transformation, and committed enough to serve professionally with loyalty and, most importantly, with integrity.
Earlier in the day, Kindiki formally handed over his previous position as Interior Cabinet Secretary to Musalia Mudavadi at Harambee House before proceeding to KICC for the swearing-in. The swearing-in coincided with a public holiday to allow citizens to participate and observe the historic event, and noted in the government's Gazette notice declaring November 1st as a national holiday in Kenya. Kenyans from all walks of life did not miss out this opportune moment as they flooded in large numbers to witness the historic swearing-in. As the momentous day in Kenyan's history ends for the swearing-in of the third Deputy President Kithure Kindiki ends, Kenyans can only hope for transformative leadership that will work on improving the lives of each and every Kenyan. Muthoni Caroline reporting for EBN News.
Thank you, Caroline. Now, President William Ruto, in his congratulatory speech to Deputy President Kithure Kindiki after he was sworn in as the country's third Deputy President, expressed his surety in Kindiki's dedication, willingness, and ability to serve as his second in command. On a light note, where the President referred to his Deputy President as Abrake, the President welcomed Professor Kindiki to office. He urged and requested his deputy to serve the people of Kenya as he had promised in his oath. Ruto also insisted that his governance is dedicated to serving the entire country and not specific regions, even as he urged Kindiki to serve the country without fear or discrimination.
I know him as a dedicated professional whose commitment to excellence has helped us overcome daunting challenges, and as a tireless public servant on the path of national leadership. Abraham is also a patriot whose dedication to cohesion, national unity, and inclusivity is beyond reproach. An effective champion of peace and stability, and across every part of our country, and a loyal steward of our bottom-up economic transformation agenda, whom together with many others we crafted to take our country to the next level. Among them, Abraham Kithure Kindiki stands out for his exceptional qualifications, extensive experience, and wide-ranging accomplishments. I am honored that he is available. He has told me he is ready and I know he is willing to serve as my deputy. Professor, my young brother, let me call you Abraham K. or Abra K. Welcome to the service of this great nation, Kenya.
At the same time, President William Ruto launched a veiled attack on his former deputy, Rigathi Gachagua, who was removed from office through impeachment by Parliament. Speaking passionately at the swearing-in ceremony of the new deputy president, Kithure Kindiki, President Ruto expressed frustration over feeling like a lonely voice within the executive, lacking support to effectively communicate his administration's programs.
Changed. And we have transformed our education system. Today, we have more teachers. We just announced another 20,000 teachers. We have a new funding model that is student-based, which we are refining to make sure that no child in Kenya is left behind. My dear Professor Kindiki, I need your voice. I need your intellect to help me and to help members of our cabinet to profile the things we are doing, to speak to the things that we are doing. I have almost become a lonely voice in the executive, especially in the presidency, speaking about our projects, speaking about our programs, elaborating on what we are doing. You are eloquent, my brother. You are intelligent, my brother. I am confident that you will do that which I have missed for the last 2 years. I know you will.
Political figures attended the swearing-in ceremony at KICC after a dramatic impeachment proceeding in Parliament. The leaders continued with their onslaught against Gachagua, even as they say this moment marked a new dawn for Kenya.
I think it is important for us to reflect on the journey ahead. We have had a tumultuous 2 years, and there are moments that Kenyans have accused us of having removed our eyes off the ball. This is a moment, a great moment, for us to retrace our steps, get together, have a unity of purpose, have the resolve and the will, and to focus so that we can deliver for the Kenyan people as they requested us to do when they cast their vote 2 years ago. In Professor Kindiki, we see a lot of virtue, but perhaps the one I may want to single out is the virtue of humility and simplicity. He does not walk around with airs around him. This is a very important virtue. If, as a nation, we can embrace humility, we will go far. If you disregard humility, it can be very expensive.
We are now going to focus on development, not antagonistic politics and petty wars of fighting left, right, and center. So Kenya is going to be now a more united nation, a more united country. Yeah, and development. By the way, you will see a lot of development next year. Tulikuwa na Kasumba imeenda. Kasumba ilikuwa moja na Rigathi Gachagua. Kwa heri.
Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki was sworn in this Friday following the impeachment of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, sparking a heated debate among citizens across the nation. On the streets of Nairobi, opinions were divided. Supporters of Kindiki praised the decision, citing his extensive experience and capability to lead the Interior Ministry during challenging times. Conversely, critics raised concerns about the implications of Gachagwa's impeachment, questioning the stability of the current administration. Our reporter Martin Masharia was on the streets and filed the following story.
In a significant political shift, former Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki has been sworn in as the new Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, taking over from the impeached Rigathi Gachagua. Today, we hit the streets to gather people's opinion regarding the change in President William Ruto's regime.
Nasema sijui Kindiki, so mimi naweza sema tu hivi, simjui sana, cha tumpe chance. Kila mtu ana deserve chance. So na cha tumuone Kenya atafanya, tusimjudge kwanza, tusiseme kitu yoyote. Je, tuwezi jua anaweza ingia alafu afanye kitu poa ibambe wase.
Kuhusiana na kuapishwa kwa Kithure Kindiki, maoni yangu ni kwamba naona ni jambo nzuri sana, kwa sababu hatuwezi ishi bila deputy president. Na nifikirie wakati ameapishwa ndio kazi inaweza ikafanyika sasa. Kwa sababu unajua wakati huo mwingine imekuwa ni mambo kotini, sasa serikali haijakuwa na wakati wa kufanya kazi. Lakini nifikirie sasa hivi ameapishwa, ni vizuri kabisa ndio kazi inaweza ikaonekana.
Lakini mimi ningeona hizi vitu wangefanya next year. Elect next year hizi vitu wangejaribu wamchague next year, wasinini sasa ni kama na force wanaharakisha vitu kama hizo. Juu wiki naona wameshinda kwa TV nini. Lakini acha tumpe tu time tuone vile atafanya.
Kitu ya kwanza si tulivotia wote wawili. Gachagua Kindiki ameappointiwa. Hapo hakuna venye tutasema ati atakuja kusikiza, yani atakuja kusaidia watu wenye walikuwa wamepiga kura last time kwa wote wawili. Juu ameappointiwa, so itabidi asikize mwenye ameappoint.
Kubanduliwa kwa Rigathi Gachagua, kwa sababu tukirudi pale nyuma tunaweza tukaona kwamba Rigathi Gachagua alikuwa anaongea bila kujali. Kwa kubanduliwa kwake ilikuwa ni sawa. Kindiki ako sawa, ako mkokomavu, ni msomi, ako sawa sana, atafanya kazi vizuri.
Mi kwa maoni yangu sioni mabadiliko yoyote, kwa sababu tukiangalia, by the way, Kindiki ni mtu amefanya hakuchaguliwa na wananchi. Sasa itabidi amsikize boss wao, lakini all in all ni politics. This is politics. Hakuna maendeleo mtu atatarajia tofauti na ile tulikuwa tunaona. Though ni siasa inachezwa. So mimi sioni maendeleo yote wala sioni mabadiliko yote kama inaweza kuwa.
Maoni yangu ni sawa kama vile ameapishwa, lakini tunataka kuona at least maendeleo. Kama akiapishwa vile ameapishwa ni sawa tu, afanye kazi kuliko ule alikuwa hapo. Hiyo ndio nitasema at least amefanya kazi. Otherwise akikuja na afanye chini ya vile ule alikuwa, then haikuwa na ina maana yeye kuapishwa. Country ukiona sasa inchi imesimama kabisa. Country kila mtu ameumia. Sasa tunataka tuone at least maendeleo.
Professor Kithure Kindiki's ascent to this new role of Deputy President signifies a new chapter in the leadership under President William Ruto's regime. Martin Masharia, EBN TV.
All right, thank you, Martin. Now, Kenyans from across other areas of the country also weighed in on the transition within the executive. Let's listen in.
Chenye ilitendeka leo tumekaribisha, lakini mambo ya ukabila watupe kando kabisa, hili waendeze Kenya iende mbele na wasilete ukabila tena. Juu yule naibu wa rais mwenye ametolewa alikuwa akitangaza ukabila popote aendapo, anatangaza ukabila. Akienda wapi ukabila, hana hata aibu. Lakini ni bahati mzuri amepelekwa nyumbani.
Kindiki akule Biblia aingie ndani, kwa sababu Rigathi alikuwa na madharau, alikuwa amedharau wabunge, amedharau wananchi, amedharau wa Kenya, ako na ukabila. Sasa mimi naomba Kenya iendelee mbele, wa Kenya tukae pamoja, tuishi pamoja kwa imani.
Lakini kitu yenye najua na Kindiki anaenda kurefuka mbele. Na pia ajue, pia anaenda kutolewa. Vile wametoa Gachagua, pia aweke wembe, aweke maji kwa kichwa. Kwa ajili pia anaenda kunyolewa hivi karibuni. Hiyo ajue.
Lia ya kwamba Gachagua atakuwa opposition leader, the very active opposition leader ni Gachagua. Kwa sababu yeye hapendi vitu za uongo. Akiambiwa hii atapinga. Sasa mimi naomba 2027 Kindiki ujue ya kwamba utakuwa deputy ya Gachagua.
Ile change rais amefanya ni kitu ya maana, inaweza tusaidia kama Wakenya. Juu kwa hizo miaka 2 wamekaa kwa uongozi akiwa na bwana Gachagua, Wakenya hatujaona anything yenye wametusaidia nayo. Na kama kuweka deputy president tofauti ndio itasaidia tuone maendeleo, si tunaweza sema acha ikue hivyo, juu tuheshimu maamuzi yao kama koti na tumeheshimu maamuzi ya rais. Lakini ile kitu tunaweza omba bwana Kindiki, ukiingia kwa uongozi, acha tusikue sasa ni ile Kenya ilikuwa awali ya kila mara striking, daktari wamestrike, mara wananchi wamestrike.
Mimi ningependa kuambia Wakenya hivi, hii maneno ambayo imeendelea ni drama yote. Hii mambo ya kuapishwa ya Kithure Kindiki, sisi wa Kenya hatuoni maendeleo hapo. Na kama Gachagua ameshindwa na hii serikali vile alikuwa anaongea na anatetea wananchi, Kithure Kindiki sioni akitoboa.
Mount Kenya East residents are overjoyed following the assumption into office of Deputy President Kithure Kindiki, lauding the president for picking one of their own. They have called on the Deputy President to act as a uniting force in Kenya.
Sisi tukiwa Mount Kenya East, sisi tunajivunia hiyo kiti sana. Kwa sababu kutoka uhuru, kutoka wakati ya mkoroni, area hii hatujapata kiti kikubwa kama hizo. Ya pili ni kuonyeshana hata community ndogo inaweza toka kiongozi. Ya tatu ni pongezi ya excellency president wetu sana William Samuel Ruto, kwa sababu hii kiti ilikuwa ya Mount Kenya na sasa imerudi Mount Kenya tena. Kwa hivyo ningeomba watu wa Mount Kenya wote tusapoti Professor Kithure Kindiki awe deputy, kwa sababu ule tulikuwa tumempenda sana, lakini sana ameongea sana.
Eneo kama hii yetu yana huku Mount Kenya hii yana huku juu, Kindiki atakuwa anatuangalia kwa undani na atatuangalia akiwa kabisa. Ile ingine ningetaka kusema nilikwambia rais asanti kwa yale ambayo ametufanya, kwa sababu tumefinyiliwa miaka mingi na watu kutoka wakati wa Moi. Sasa tumefika wakati wetu hata sisi wenyewe tujifunie. Sisi tumeshukuru na kusema asanti.
Aende aunganishe kabila zote za Kenya. Kwa hivyo hakuna Mlima, hakuna Kisii, hakuna Mbaluya. Kwa hivyo tunataka kufanyiwa kazi tukiwa kitu kimoja kama wana Kenya, na tunasema tafadhali Bwana Kithure Kindiki uangalie sana, sababu tangu sisi wananchi tuchaguane tuliona viongozi wote walikuwa kwa magari juu wakifanya siasa. Tunataka kuona hiyo temperature ya siasa ikirudi chini. Sasa tuone mahospitali yetu imepata dawa, mashule yetu watoto wamesoma, barabara zetu zimetengenezwa. Kwa hivyo tuangalie hiyo maneno yote. Watu watulie na tukae kwa amani katika Kenya, tusione kama kuna jambo lolote lilifanyika mbaya. Mtu asiwe na vurugu na ule mwingine, tukae na amani.
Nashukuru sana kwa sababu ya Kindiki kuchaguliwa kama mmoja wetu. Ile kitu ningemuomba ni apime mdomo yake, asiwe mtu ya kuongea mingi kama mtangulizi wake. Siri ni kwamba ficha maneno, fanya kazi. Kifanya kazi itaonekana, lakini mambo mingi haitasaidia.
Now the big question, where was the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua? Now former DP Rigathi Gachagua broke his silence following the Friday morning swearing in of his successor, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki, and Gachagua took to his social media platforms to post a photo of himself and his family. That includes the former Second Lady, Pastor Dorcas Rigathi, and his 2 children, while sitting on the grass at his compound, presumably in his central Kenya home. The former DP, who was only recently removed from office by way of impeachment, expressed his gratitude to God for family, adding that he's looking forward to taking his usual morning walks through the famous Hombe Forest. Now, let's switch gears. President William Ruto on Friday assented the sugar bill into law in a move that is set to regulate and provide structure to the sugar industry in Kenya. The principal object of the bill is to provide for the development, regulation, and promotion of the sugar industry after the repeat of the former Sugar Act through the enactment of the Crops Act in 2013. Among the key aspects of the new law is the regulation of sugar prices, which could offer relief on the crucial commodity. The new law provides for the re-establishment of the Kenya Sugar Board, whose roles are currently undertaken by the Sugar Directorate of the Agricultural Food Authority.
Did so in a record time, and the bill was finally passed by the Senate and the National Assembly only last week.
Now, President William Ruto has broken his silence on the murder cases reported in the country, especially on women and girls. While at KICC, Ruto called on security forces to up their game, investigate, and bring the perpetrators to book. At least 90 killings against women have been reported since August, raising a red flag against the security of all Kenyans.
I know that of recent, we have seen incidences of our girls, our mothers, our women who have been murdered in cold blood. And let me say this, that the DCI and all the investigative authorities in the Republic of Kenya must stand up to these criminals, and we must deal decisively and firmly. And I want to ask us as a society to be careful with strangers, to be careful with people who lure our girls, our women into situations that compromise their security. But we must be on the lookout, all of us as a nation. This is yet another moment. This is yet another beginning. And I am confident that we are going to take Kenya to the next level.
Now to sports, Ruben Amorim was Friday named as the new manager of Manchester United, replacing the sacked Eric Ten Hag. The 39-year-old Portuguese coach, who won 2 Primeira Liga titles with Sporting Lisbon, has signed a deal until 2027 and will join the club on November 11th. United described Amorim as one of the most exciting and highly rated young coaches in European football. His first game in charge of United will be away at the struggling Ipswich on November 24th. All right, so that brings us to the end of our bulletin tonight. Thank you very much for watching. What a weekend it's going to be as well, because Manchester United are set to play Chelsea, right? So there's a famous meme that I've seen that, you know, if it ends in a draw, then we might have to take it all the way to the police station. So that is something interesting to watch over the weekend. So I wrap it up at that point. Thank you for watching. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Good night.